belts. Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. I'm Ryan.
I'm Dashing Tim.
Oh, I didn't do that. I don't have one. Now you just threw me through a loop, you son of a bitch. You're gonna do me like that on the final episode of the year, Tim. We are back. We got episode 30 coming at you. This is the episode before New Year's this coming, what is it, Wednesday?
Yep.
Wednesday's New Year's Day. So, heck yeah. We got our cocktail of the week in honor
Of New Year.
Yeah. Timmy, you're the one that picked this, so I'm going to let you go through it.
Yeah, it's called the Raspberry Bourbon Bubbles. Never heard of this drink before. I just typed in ass. No. I typed.
You typed in ass.
I typed.
That doesn't give me high hopes for this.
I typed in bourbon.
Or was it?
Bourbon New Year's cocktails, and this was one of the first ones.
How did you get ass out of trying to say bourbon New Year's cocktail?
I've been watching a.
You said ass.
Yeah, I've been watching. I've been watching Zach and Yuri makes a porno, and there's this.
Fair enough. Say no more.
He says, "I typed in ass." You're the first thing that pops up. Anywho,
all right, back to business.
Raspberry Bourbon Bubbles. What this is 2 ounces of our Michter's bourbon that we used last week, 1/2 ounce of raspberry syrup made by yours truly. We did 2 dashes of black walnut bitters, but you could use like a chocolate bitter as well. And then your favorite bubbles on top. We used a Prosecco and then garnished it with a raspberry. You can also do like a cherry. You mix that all up and then top it with the bubbles and you get a little cocktail right here. So cheers to you, brother.
Cheers.
Happy New Year's
to you. Cheers to the Triple B Podcast, episode 30, and the final episode of the year.
Oh, yeah, I get all the flavors there.
Yeah.
The bubbles kind of comes through strong, but I do get the bourbon, get the raspberry in there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give it a 6. Going with a 6, it's not over the top. I really like the Michter's and wanted the flavor to shine a little more. I get that we're putting raspberry in, Prosecco in it, so it's going to mask that flavor.
For sure.
But I thought bourbon would be a little more pronounced in it, so going to pour heavier on that next time.
Yeah.
But you know, it is the fun cocktail. I like it just in the spirit of New Year's, and there's not
for sure
many bourbon cocktails that I can think of that's really inspired by New Year's that I can think of. So
no, I agree. I'm going low on this one. I'm giving it a 3.
Oh,
this is
harsh.
I mentioned it before. I'm not a champagne fan at all, and I think the flavor of that, especially on the back end, the aftertaste of this, is really strong for me.
See,
when I'm having a
I googled acid.
It tastes. I told you I didn't have high hopes after he said that. I don't know. I like the idea of the bubbly drink, the New Year's, that whole thing. So I probably could have gone lower just based off taste for myself personally. But if you like champagne, this might be a good drink for you. I don't know, but that's just a personal. Not a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. But it's in honor of New Year's and us.
Yeah,
I'm drinking it.
You're drinking it.
I will not let bourbon go to waste, no matter how badly we ruined it. All right. That's not the right button. There we go. Oh, too far. Coming back.
We got our socials. You can find us on Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok. We are the @TripleB. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. And you can email us on our Gmail, triplebpod619@gmail.com.
Hey.
Love to get social with you guys. So bring it on. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know what you want to hear about. Any cocktails and bourbons you recommend. Any talking points during Blockbusters or Belts. We'd love to hear from you. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I did it again. There we go. Timmy, before we jump into this, I have a little surprise for you.
Oh, really?
I do.
Oh, really? Oh,
Merry Christmas, my good sir.
This is payback for last week.
It is payback for last
I
week.
didn't know we were doing this. And it is wrap.
I kind of just wrapped him up.
What do we got? What do we got?
I think you already know.
Yeet. That is awesome.
Merry Yeetmas, my good sir.
That is fucking awesome. Hell yeah.
Dude, man.
I love that.
I knew you were eyeballing it when I bought mine at Survivor Series, but you had to go with you went Cody.
Cody,
Yeah, you had to go Cody on that one, and then they didn't have the pink
No, they did.
Yeet shirt at no Raw. We bought them at Raw.
Yeah, Raw.
Yeah, because I bought the Punk, you bought the Bloodline shirt at
Yes, that's right.
here. So yeah, Raw. They
Thanks, brother, man. I love it.
They liked it, so figured what the heck.
I love it. I'm excited.
Woo! Here we go. We're jumping into our bourbon talking points. We're coming back with another rendition, another edition, another episode, whatever the fuck you want to call it, of our Triple B Fact Check. This week is 10th week, so what do we got?
All right. Going down the line, Seahawks backup center that filled in for Oluwatani during the Packers.
Oluwatimi.
Oluwatani.
I got you.
Fact check the name pronunciation. Damn it. We didn't know who that was. Jalen Sundell is who
Sundell, that's right.
filled in during the Packers game.
Yeah.
I brought up how many yards did Josh Jacobs rush in the first half against us. He gashed us pretty good. 75 yards of his 94 yards came in the first half. So we did clamp down on the rush, but
We held under 100.
But we were also up against the wall in the second half. So,
True.
Which surprised me because you think they would try to rush it more, but we were just,
Stopping. Try to eat the clock in.
Yeah. But adding the passing yards in that first half, that Josh Jacobs, it was over 100 yards total in the first half, which was crazy. What's the split between Packers and Vikings? You asked what that was. Vikings won the first round 31-29, and Packers and Vikings played today. So they didn't play the two games yet at that point. Or tomorrow. There's football.
There's football today. I get you, but I was just looking at the 3 games today. It's not none of those.
Cold plunge timing parameters. You were pretty spot on with what you were talking about. Ideal temp is between 50 and 59 degrees, and for every degree below, take off a minute of immersion. So you brought up a lot of time things, and like I said, it was pretty spot on. 55 to 65 degrees up to 40 minutes, 50 to 55 between 10 and 20 minutes, 45 to 50 between 1 and 3 minutes, and 35 to 45, 30 seconds to 1 minute. Big message is listen to your body when you're doing it and make sure you're not overdoing it. And then it also talked about some benefits of those degree ranges and what they do for your body. So little info on that. Tactile defenses with the length record. I said this might be hard to find, and it really was. There's not a website that just goes, hey, they held it for this many days and defended it this many days. So
There should be.
I know. I agree. So Finn and JD held the title 175 days, 3 total defenses on actual TV shows. I don't know if I didn't look up any house shows.
Well, because those aren't house shows aren't typically canon anyways to a live TV storyline.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Sam Punk. just the
running out in the shower.
Shower cap and a towel. Yeah.
Shower power. It looks like the record is, if Google is correct, it's Cody Rhodes and Harper Holly held the tag titles for 202 days and defended it 3 times. So very similar to Finn Balor and JD
Cody Rhodes and Hardcore Holly.
Yes, and I remember this because this is right when what led to him joining with Ted DiBiase Jr. And
Okay.
started forming a legacy.
Yeah.
So very similar, and there was actually 3 months where they didn't defend the titles. Other names that popped up in my search, the Iconics, which we were just talking about last week. They held the women's tag titles for 120 days, defended it 4 times, one of those being just like jobbers that challenged them for the title. So 3 actual defenses. And then Blake and Murphy from NXT held the NXT tag titles for 219 days with 3 defenses. So 3 is a very common denominator in the long tag title reigns.
And 3 of those 4 they mentioned, with one of them obviously being Judgment Day,
Yeah.
are all recent.
Yeah.
Within the last, 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
where, the Cody Hardcore Holly one was, that was like 15, 20 years ago.
2009, I want to say.
Yeah, so
Right around that range.
So interesting that that's all come more recently.
Yeah. Going down, I brought up the Netflix kickoff show on YouTube, and KO was talking about a date, and I said 12/26. He was saying that's going to be the show I show up on, and we're like, well, that's a Thursday. And so there was 2 live shows yesterday. One promoting Raw was up in Madison Square Garden, and then SmackDown had one in Jacksonville 12/26, and I'm assuming that's what he was talking about. But
Those are on Thursday too, right?
yeah, both of those were Thursday. Going down, it was just confusing because SmackDown was in Tampa, and so I was like, is he referring to being on SmackDown, or is it the live show? And then it was weird because KO was on SmackDown. I know it was filmed before the kickoff show. It was a pre-taped SmackDown, but it was just weird that he was on the show with the title.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the YouTube kickoff, he's saying the next time you see me will be in this realm. So
Yeah.
Confirmed Netflix premiere matches. We were just bringing up what was confirmed. We said Punk Rollins, Trial of Combat, Liv Rhea, and they did confirm Intercontinental Women's Finals.
They did confirm that.
So we got 4 confirmed matches for that. What is considered a reboot in TV terms? We were talking about, what is a reboot? So a series that has been on long hiatus or cancellation while disregarding previous continuity of the work. So that is the definition of.
Was it disregarding previous continuity?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is completely restarting fresh.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I thought it was.
Often new actors and characters. This differs from remakes, which usually is retelling of a story to update a newer audience. And then there's a revival, which takes place after the original series ends, and brings back the character.
Yeah.
So that's more what Malcolm in the Middle will be.
As a revival.
But reboot has become a general catch-all phrase as of late. So it's just a catch-all phrase. Scrub actors, we didn't know who Turk was. Donald Tyson.
Yeah.
Tyson.
Yeah.
And JD Zach Braff. So those were the 2 main ones. What DC projects released since James Gunn took over? So you said Aquaman, I said Peacemaker, and then you said The Flash, and then you said there was one more. So there's actually 2 more. Shazam! Fury of the Gods was the first one released. Black Adam was right a month before the announcement of James Gunn. So,
okay.
So Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle,
that's right.
Aquaman and the Last Kingdom.
That's right.
Peacemaker was released before he was announced, so that came out at the beginning of the year.
But Peacemaker season 2,
that will be coming out. It's not out yet. It just got
season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought it was already out.
It says that anything that's mentioned in Creature Commandos, such as the new animated show, is canon in his DCU. Yeah. So anything mentioned from previous DCEU in that show would be considered canon.
Yeah, because Creature Commandos is kind of like a soft reboot. The beginning of the rebooting of the DC.
Yeah. And then that was my next thing. Is Superman the official start to the DCU? Technically, yes, it's the first chapter, but Creature Commandos is the soft launch of it. The first chapter of DCU is called Gods and Monsters. Going down, Nathan Fillion, Green Lantern, is Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
You brought up Stewart. Couldn't think of the first one. It's Johnny Stewart is the one you couldn't think of. And then the rest of the Green Lantern Corps is Hal Jordan, Abin Sur, Chiv, Chaslon, Duloc, Kilowog, and Iolande. I probably butchered every single one of those names, but that is what rounds out the Green Lantern Corps. We got the Superman show that just ended on CW, or we kept on saying like Lois and Clark or Clark and Lois. It is Superman and Lois is what that show was called.
We were thinking Lewis and Clark.
Yes. Well, there was a Superman show called Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Dean Cain and Terry. Sure. Characters just brought up in the trailer just because we did mention Hawk Girl, Crypto, the Green Lantern, Lex and Lois. So the other ones that showed up, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, Helix, Jimmy Olsen, Cat Grant, Steve Lombard, Jonathan, and Martha Kent. Were just other characters brought into that trailer. And then going down to armored trucks. Does armored trucks have emergency exits on top of or access points to the cab? And believe it or not, I think they do this on purpose. You can't Google a lot about armored cars.
I guess that makes sense. You probably got flagged.
Probably did, because I'm like going, what about? And so I just like Google like Garda is like, I know that's one of the prominent armored trucks around this area, and Google the picture, and I did see there is like a hatch on top, but it's not plastic like the one in armor that we just watched on Blockbusters last week. So couldn't confirm or deny, but when you just Google it, they say yes, there's escape things, but they're very vague about it. So
well, that makes sense.
Yeah,
we're smart.
Kind of a lot in there, but more of it was just clarification, not a lot of correction on there. So that's what we got for the fact check.
Nice. Well, Tim, just a minute ago, you talked about 12/26 being this last Thursday. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because we're covering 2 Seahawks games on this episode because they both happened since last Saturday. So, we are now 9-7.
Got a winning record.
We do have a winning record, guaranteed winning record for the season. We're currently at least 4 games up on what any pundits predicted us to be at for the season. So regardless how the rest of this weekend and next week goes, it's a winning season. It's a positive thing for our new coaching staff and a whole new scheme and everything. We lost last week in a close game to Minnesota. And then we won on Thursday in a close game to the Bears. They were both close, but they were both totally opposite games. The Minnesota game last Sunday, it was a higher scoring game. We lost 27-24. The defense had a harder time stopping Minnesota, but our offense also had a difficult time staying on the field at multiple different points throughout the game, which more often than not put our defense in a bad position. On Thursday, we beat Chicago 6-3, which is fucking insane. It was all defense and a lot of bad offense. I put on here, Grubb sucks ass. He is not a good offensive play caller in the NFL. The play calling was fucking terrible. He's had one good game of play calling. It was the second time he played Arizona. That was the only time he's actually done a good job of actually calling the offense from start to finish of the game. I think this game very well, even though we did win, it could have very well put him he may have coached his way out of his job next year. This was the first time in almost 20 years that Seattle has won a game without scoring a touchdown. The last time was in 2006. We beat Detroit 9-6 on the Josh Brown game-winning field goal, and then the one before that, we beat Cleveland 9-6 in 2001.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember there was a game that was against Cleveland where it was 9-6, but
we
lost it. Yeah. I was just bringing this up with a buddy of mine where I finally got a Sunday off. I work for Safeway and I had to work every Sunday, and I finally got one off, and that was like one of the first games I got to watch, and we lost.
I believe that game was 2016.
Yeah, probably.
I believe that game was 2016. But yeah,
it was a rough one to watch. But anywho's,
so not going to spend a ton of time on either of those games, statistics wise or anything. I mean, there wasn't a lot of statistics from Thursday's game in general. Jason Myers was 2 for 2 on field goals. He hit the game, what ended up being the game winning one in the second quarter, from like 54 or 57 yards or whatever it was. It was in the 50s, extended his franchise record, I believe, to 8 makes over 50. And yeah, so that's that. We're moving on to what the important pieces moving forward are now. And we are looking at a situation where Seattle does not control its own destiny regarding the playoffs at this time. Our only path to the playoffs now at this point is to win the NFC West. And there are a few things that we need to root for. First and foremost, tonight, prime time, Rams, Cardinals.
let's go!
We're huge Arizona fans right now. If they beat the Rams, that right in there in and of itself, if they beat the Rams, puts the Rams at 9-7, moves that game next week, us against the Rams in the season finale, to just a winner-take-all game, because it's whoever wins that game has the better record. So that shuts down every other type of tiebreaker or anything in the first place. If Arizona wins tonight, loses. No, if Arizona, well, yeah, I guess, sure. If Arizona loses tonight, we need to be looking at 3 of these 6 outcomes, with one of them is starting here in just a little bit. Denver and who is it? Denver and Cincinnati. We need 3 of these 6 results to come to fruition to then continue to give us hope next week. Okay. So the Rams win tonight. We need any of these 3 to happen. Green Bay to beat Minnesota tomorrow. The Jets to beat Buffalo tomorrow. That's not good. Detroit over San Francisco. That's very likely because Detroit's gunning for the number 1 seed still, so they're not sitting anybody or anything. Atlanta over Washington. Who fucking knows with those 2 teams? Denver over Cincinnati today, which I think actually is a possibility. Cincinnati's been playing fucking really well, but Denver's been balling out as well. And then Miami over Cleveland, which I also think is a likely scenario. So if 3 of those 6 things happen, it keeps our hope alive for next week, where I believe it would put us in a situation where we would obviously have to win, which would then give us tied records. But then we need strength of victory.
Yeah, strength of
tiebreaker to then there would be a couple other things next week we would need to fall correctly. We're in a somewhat similar position that we were last year, and I believe the year before. But last year it didn't go our way. The year before it did. 2 years ago, we needed Detroit to beat Green Bay. Detroit beat Green Bay. That gave us strength of victory over Green Bay. We made it into the playoffs. Last year, we needed Detroit to beat Green Bay. Green Bay, I believe, dominated Detroit in that game, which shut down all hope that we had. And then this year, we're looking at a similar scenario. It does kind of partially have to do with Green Bay still, because if Green Bay beats Minnesota tomorrow, that helps us a little bit. So, that's just kind of where we're at.
That makes, obviously a lot of relying on other teams, which is never fun. We definitely should have won the Minnesota game. Like, it was in our hands, and penalties really, it was just lack of
and then just a fucking blatantly blown coverage on both Woolen and Julian Love to let Justin Jefferson score what ended up being the game-winning field goal.
Touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said field goal. Yeah, the game-winning touchdown.
They got up by a field goal, but it was a very winnable game, and we kind of kept them in check. There was definitely we just weren't on with our heads straight. We just causing too many mistakes there, and should have had it.
Which is
Really didn't feel like we should have won that Chicago game. I know their record is terrible, but they have been playing teams very tough.
yeah. They've
So I
won
know
a
what-
lot of games this year by one score less.
Yeah, so it was definitely not going to be like a walk in the park. It never is.
Yeah.
But we
That being said, 2 or 3 different times, once again, we had the ball inside
the red zone.
the red zone, and we can't punch the fucking thing into the end zone, which again goes back to what I was saying. Grubb is coaching his way out of a job next year.
Yeah.
You can't have that many goddamn opportunities inside the red zone and continuously come away with 3 points or nothing.
Yeah.
And yes, some of these things are bad decisions on Gino, but Gino shouldn't be getting put in those positions in the first place to make those bad decisions.
Yeah.
And that's on Grubb when it comes down to it.
I just don't get why we would continue. I know we won the game and we don't need to talk about it more, but I don't know why we just continued trying to rush the ball. Like, yes, it worked in the first few drives, but they obviously rallied and were stopping it. We weren't passing
and
that
part of what I partly disagree, depending on what part of the game you're looking at, because the first drive that we had, we fucking drive down.
Oh, yeah.
And we get down to McIntosh gets us like inside the 10 or whatever. And then we like run the ball 2 more times and it's like 3rd and 2 or something. And then we do a fucking play action pass. Like, I'm sorry, but why? Like, I get it, play action, and I'm a fan of play action actually, and I wish that we would have used it more this season. But in order to use play action effectively, you have to run the ball effectively. And yeah, we were on that first drive, but when we're literally gashing them and picking up like 4 to 5 yards a carry, why the fuck are we not? We're just running the ball there just to stick. Like they're tired, just grind it out, pick up the first down. But no, we end up doing what we do, and that's part of what I'm talking about is with Grubb. It's just mind-numbing decision after decision that I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
And then in the second half of the game, it's like very similar thing. Oh, we get stopped on the run a good portion of the second half, so now we're gonna try to run it from 3rd and 5.
I don't
What?
I hate that.
What are we doing, man?
Anyways,
if essentially we're Arizona fans tonight, if Arizona wins, it makes next week a winner-take-all game.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
And would just rather just lean on that. It took me a while to understand your first scenario. I was like, the Rams win, we lose. And then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
They could, I see what.
Yeah. Because the strength of victory tiebreaker goes to our non-common opponents' win percentages.
Yeah.
Essentially. Right. And so like we both played Green Bay and Minnesota. We both played Buffalo. We both played San Francisco and Detroit. We both lost to Detroit. We beat San Francisco once, but the Rams beat San Francisco twice. So that's where like we need Detroit to beat San Francisco because then it makes that percentage drop.
Yeah.
Atlanta over Washington. We beat Atlanta, so we want Atlanta to keep winning. Because that gives our strength of victory stronger. Same with Denver over Cincy and then Miami over Cleveland. So
the good news
we beat
is
all of those.
A lot of these matchups have playoff implications. So there's good things going towards this. Like Detroit still gunning for that first seed. Atlanta's trying to capture the division. They're at the top right now. So there's just a lot of good things going on there. So,
and I think like Green Bay technically could still win the NFC North if they were to win out these last 2 games. And Detroit, things were just fall certain ways for Detroit.
Yeah.
You know, like if Green Bay were to beat Minnesota and then I'm trying to think because they only have 4 losses, right? And then both Detroit and Minnesota are at 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you could end up in a weird tiebreaker potentially, depending on the week 18. So, but at the very least, Green Bay is trying to move up seeds to play a worse team
Yeah.
Right. So that's just kind of where it's a Green Bay still gunning to try to win out. Jets and Buffalo's that. Detroit's still going for the number 1 seed. Atlanta's still fighting for a playoff spot. Denver's fighting for a playoff spot. Miami's fighting for a playoff spot. So all of those teams outside of the Jets have things important shit to play for this week, which, like you said, is in our favor. For some of these things by now.
All right. That said, how would you feel about our chances going against the Rams next week if everything goes our way and we're in LA? Do the Seahawks have a chance? And obviously they do, because it's a division rival. We always play tough. It's usually never a blowout.
Yeah,
it's always close.
Yeah. Unfortunately, when it has typically been a blowout, it's been against the fucking Rams. I think it'd be a game for sure. I think it depends on which team for us shows up. I mean, we should have won the first game against them. It's fucking super annoying that we didn't. There's a handful of games this year that are like that we could say that about. Games that we should have won, but we just shot ourselves in the foot and ended up losing. And I think we're a better team all around now than we were. Our defense is fucking playing out of their mind since that game. With, exception to some things here and there against Green Bay and Minnesota, but those are both two really fucking good offenses.
Yes.
So I don't think the Rams are quite that yet. Yes, they're fucking good. Especially they have all, Kupp and Nakua both healthy. Stafford's healthy. So I don't know. I want to just get through this weekend first and see how things play out.
Yeah. No, I agree.
See how it goes. We could very well be eliminated after this weekend.
The good news is we played Thursday. We get a long time to prep
10
for
days.
them.
Yep. 10
so,
days. And
so, yeah, they're playing a little earlier than normal, 1 day earlier. So it gives them a little extra time to prep for us too. But it should be interesting. Go Cardinals.
Go Cardinals. Oh, yeah.
All right, man. How was your Christmas?
Dude, Christmas was solid. We didn't really go anywhere. We stayed local. Both Lindsay's folks live down just 25 minutes away down west from us right now. So we went to her dad's Christmas Eve earlier afternoon. We're there for a few hours. Then my dad and my stepmom are actually up right now house sitting for my stepmom's cousin just in Auburn. So we then went over there for a few hours Christmas Eve night. And then Christmas Day, we got up, did our thing here, and then we went to Lindsay's mom's house again down pretty much the same distance, and spent the rest of the day there till we came home. Yeah, man.
Think you had a good Christmas?
Oh yeah, she spoiled me.
That's
she got everything. She got a ton of new shit, clothes, toys, just all sorts of stuff. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. Just kind of not to sound cliche, but kind of the magic in her eyes of just everything that's going on around that time. All the lights, all the presents, getting to watch her just learn to open, rip wrapping paper off of stuff. And she does this where she just goes, whoa, to anything she thinks is cool. So there was a lot of that. It was pretty awesome. What about you?
It was a pretty relaxing one. Haley got sick. We were gonna go to my mom's, but the pass also was starting to snow in the forecast. So it ended up being great. Just me and her at home, and we both worked right into the holiday up until Christmas. So it was just nice to relax with each other, enjoy each other's company, and it was a nice day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good, man. What was your favorite thing you got?
I got this awesome, I got an iPod, just a classic iPod, and I've been wanting to get one again. I had one for years, and it was loaded with everything you could think of, and someone broke into my car and stole it. And so So she got
You
me.
still have the capability to get all of that. You still have your iTunes, or
Yeah, I still got my iTunes.
so you're able to hook it right up and get all your music back on.
Load it right back up. But
That's it.
I love the iPod. Is you just can just listen to music and not be distracted by your phone or anything. You know, nothing to interrupt the song. So I loved it.
Awesome. That's dope.
I know I got a Yeet shirt, so that's in competition.
There you go. I got Lindsay's dad got me a bunch of hunting stuff.
Oh,
So I got binoculars. I got a dope like binocular and range finder like chest carrier for them, with a bunch of pockets and stuff. I got a like full blown legit vest. Because the one that I have right now is just like a lightweight, has no pockets. It's just like a mesh, just throw on type of vest. This one has a ton of pockets, like that. And then he got me like a day pack, which is like a lightweight backpack. For at least you're just like, if you're up hunting or whatever, and you're just gonna go on like a short little day hike. You know, there's some snacks, ammo, stuff like that. Between the vest and that backpack, I'll be good to go. So yeah, I was pretty excited about that. Well, again, went hunting for the first time this year, and I'm looking forward and excited to continue going. So it's pretty cool to get stuff. And he goes, and y'all can go with him. So he's all into getting me shit for it. So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
It was solid.
Sweet.
All right. Well, Timmy, that brings us to but before we get into belts, I have another surprise for you.
Oh shit. What the hell? Two. Oh yeah.
It's Gunther. Well, freeze your hole. Okay, you don't have Gunther yet, right?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Oh yeah.
I knew you did it before, and I was just like, I hope you didn't get it within the last like couple weeks.
Dude, that is sick. Oh yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, Doc.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be probably a character for the TikTok soon.
Ooh, I like that. All right, Timmy. What do you want to talk about?
Who? The women's IC tourney. Io Sky fills in a vacant spot after PFC took out Kyrie.
Yeah.
And I did not expect Io to take the spot. It had me a little excited. I was just like, hey, it puts a big name into this tournament.
Yeah.
She ended up winning it. So I think odds on are that she's the strong candidate to win that tournament.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for Natty here, though, just because she's this longtime veteran and she takes another loss. Like, she doesn't got much going on. And I thought the tournament would be a good way. She doesn't have the greatest personality like on the mic or anything, but she's great in the ring typically.
Yeah.
Not so much in this movie.
Say she's solid in the ring.
But she's solid.
I wouldn't say great, I don't think.
I thought it would just been cool for her to get it out of what's left in this tournament.
Yeah, I have a hard time with Maddie because she just hasn't, like, she has done nothing in recent years.
Oh, absolutely.
Like literally nothing. Like, I want to say the last time she was doing anything that had any form of actual prominence to it was when she was tag teaming with Beth Phoenix.
I mean, she is your go-to filler challenger for a championship when
I know
there's really no storyline going. She is always the one that comes to the front and will challenge you to lose.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, yeah, again, it would be cool because of like the familial ties to the IC and all of that. Like, yeah, that could be a cool storyline, but then that ends up happening to exactly what you kind of would have expected to happen. One of the things, actually, two of the things I want to talk about have to do with this exact same thing. First, talk about Io. Just the fact that she completely, blatantly missed the moonsault, like, didn't connect in any way, shape, or form outside of her forearm landing across Natty's torso, and then picks up the win off of that. fucking suck. I was like, oh my lord, what the hell, man? And it's very unusual for EO to miss something like that. So I don't honestly know that it was on her. I feel like Natalia probably moved wrong or something, like put herself in the wrong spot. I don't know. It just seems weird for EO to be the one that misses something like that because she's one of the best in-ring women's performers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, what the fuck? That kind of was a shitty way to end. And that was like just recently, I forget who exactly it was, who also didn't hit.
It was
it Tiffany? Yeah, Tiffany Stratton.
And she did hit it, but she was supposed to not.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it was like the same thing but opposite, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It was like she actually connected but wasn't supposed to, and then
lost,
lost immediately after that because she didn't connect, even though she did. And then now you have this where EO completely misses, overshoots it, and then picks up on that. Like she hits fully, just belly flops on the fucking ring, and then crawls over, pins her, and gets the win. Like it made no sense. The other thing that was tied to this as well, which came before this, before we knew, well, I guess it was right when we found out it was going to be EO in. I liked Shayna Baszler's comment where she said, she just lost a match. You're going to reward her? Because that kind of points to some of the stuff that we've talked about in the past. Here is just like how sometimes the booking of certain things doesn't make any sense. Like you have people that you should be pushing that aren't in these tournaments. You have people that literally just lost a women's world championship match cleanly too. It wasn't even like via interference or anything. Like Liv Morgan straight up won that match at Saturday Night's Main Event.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're rewarding EO by losing that match with putting her into the vacant opening for this match. I get the idea behind it because it was PFC that attacked Kairi Sane. So he kind of stuck it to them by putting the other member of Damage Control in. I get that. I understand that. Yeah. And I'm not against EO being in this by any way, but by any means. But the point that Shayna Baszler makes is a valid point because we see it happening quite often now, you know? So I thought those were both just kind of interesting things.
Yeah. I predict, and I'm probably going to be wrong, but I predict EO versus Dakota is going to be the finals. Just we got Damage Control versus Damage Control. I could see Zoe Stark though being the other person versus Dakota is what I'm assuming. Lyra versus,
isn't it? I thought it was Lyra versus EO, Dakota versus.
Oh, it might. Zoe. I didn't look up who actually, but I know
because my original thought was that it was going to end up being EO versus Zoe, and we are going to have some interference.
I think you're right. Sorry, you're gonna have to fact check that next week. But yeah, no, I thought EO versus Dakota would be a cool twist on it. Just face versus face right now, and Damage Control versus Damage Control. Your point about EO missing that, we've talked about how good EO Sky is, but it seems as of late it feels like she's going in slow motion. Like all of her setups are in slow motion, and so like when she did the moonsault off the ropes to the two of them on the outside, it was just so slow of a setup. You could see them already like waiting for her and stuff. So I have a little, complaints about recent matches, but she's still great. You shouldn't have missed that moonsault and then you get the pin. Yeah. I think they just need to pivot and come up with another spot just to go.
Yeah, like worst comes worst. Act like you missed it. Act like Tally rolled out of the way or whatever.
Yeah.
And then get back up, do a little something, throw the other one out of the ring, get her down again, and then re-hit it. Yeah. Like you could do that whole correction in 30 seconds to a minute. Like you're not going to run over that long on your allotted time frame.
Yeah, exactly.
But like as a company too, in a match like this, where this is a tournament for a title, you shouldn't be okay with it ending like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like you should expect, and I feel like it should just be either a verbally spoken thing or an unwritten rule that, hey, if the finish to something gets botched, fix it.
Yeah. Have the ref say, try again.
Yeah,
Just
right. Like,
give them a signal. It's like, try again.
gotta redo that. Like, just that quick. No one's gonna hear the ref say that.
Yeah.
You gotta redo it.
Yep.
Like, you fucked that up. Redo it.
Exactly.
You know, like seriously.
You need quality control in the
Yeah,
ring.
you do. You really do. And unfortunately, it's especially with the women's division. Like, you definitely need quality control because no matter what anybody wants to say, they're not as good at A, in general, but B, playing off of those types of things.
Yeah.
Like, very often you see them, something doesn't go right, and then it's like they all just go, duh, and then they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there definitely needs to be quality control in the ring for sure.
Yeah. What do you got?
I thought it was an interesting swerve on SmackDown with the whole tag, just the whole tag team situation, I guess. But just coming out and saying Los Garzas are the ones that attack Street Profits, like, comes out of nowhere. Didn't really make any sense to me for the most part because they haven't really been involved in that like 3-way tag situation with DIY, Motor City, and then Street Profits. So I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting swerve to just throw out there. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then they'll also bring in the fact that was it Pretty Deadly? They're the ones that like essentially told them that that's what happened.
Yeah.
When it feels like, which like, sure, you're somewhat propping up the tag division, which I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But it was just like, I don't know, it felt out of nowhere to me. And that was just like a random setup. But it did lead to a pretty fucking awesome match.
Yeah.
I will say that the Street Profits versus Los Garzas was a pretty solid fucking match.
Yeah, for sure. I also had that as a note this week. I love it actually. I go for it just because it's building up that tag team division. It's getting basically every tag team that's currently on SmackDown intertwined with each other right now, so that it can be propped up for, because SmackDown's going to 3 hours next week and from here on out. So there's going to be more time for story development, and hopefully that's to build this tag team division. And I mean, Pretty Deadly's been a joke on the side. It's fun to see them actually interacting with the other tag teams now. And I've been big fans of Los Garzas, but they've also been doing a lot of nothing as of late. So it was a nice twist to get them all intertwined with each other and see where it goes from here.
One thing, one kind of qualm I have with just that whole backstage segment was typically we're a fan of like them being on one segment and then it follows and moves into another segment. It happened too much though in that same segment. It literally was like 4 or 5 different pieces that were just one long running thing, and then it ended with Apollo Crews again. What the fuck? Like,
doesn't even have a tag partner.
Yeah, you don't have a tag partner. You're literally not involved in anything important. What the fuck are you even there for? Like, what is that doing? Like, seriously, though, I know it's funny, but it's like, what is that doing? What is that propping up? What is it? You know, there's no storyline here that's helping Bill.
Yeah.
So it just like, I liked the idea of them doing the just continued backstage shots from one to another because it's usually cool and it's different, it's fresh. But make it make sense, make it meaningful, make it have actual purpose. And that, for the most part, a good portion of that just really didn't.
Yeah.
Like it.
I can agree with that. So
next thing I had was, is it you?
Yep. You just
my bad.
The tag. SmackDown.
My bad. Hurry up then, Tim.
Next thing I got is Finn Balor, Judgment Day. Still seeing the cracks in the foundation. I did not like their segment of, will you tell Liv this, and will Liv, you tell Finn this. It was so corny.
They need to end,
cheesy.
They need to end Judgment Day.
And
it needs to be
it needs to be finished. So I want to know how you think this plays out, because it's I think the ultimate matchup out of this is going to be Finn versus Mysterio is the ultimate dividing. But do you think it's gonna be Finn costing Liv the title?
That's what I was just about to say. I'm wondering if it could end up being Finn costing Liv the championship to Rhea.
Yeah,
potentially next Monday.
Yeah,
not coming, but obviously.
But how do we get out of Priest, because that's not final. Like, it's too much going on. And I know they're trying to prolong the crack of Judgment Day, so maybe it is Priest Finn at that Raw as well. But then Finn loses, but then goes on to cost
maybe even Finn comes out to help Liv or actually help Liv, but then Priest comes out and then Priest does something which then causes Finn to knock Liv into Riptide or something that ends up just causing this boil over. I don't know. It needs to happen quickly. They need to not prolong this because it's just it is completely putting it's quickly going down the drain.
We
were so high on it.
And they saw this, but now it's
it's just dropped. Now it's every time they're on. And it's really, for me, it's Finn. A lot of it's that half because I still am interested in Liv and Dawn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I have absolutely no interest in Finn as a character in it.
Yeah.
Zero interest in him as a character.
Yeah.
I think he makes no sense in everything that he's doing right now. It's just all bad. And that's a detriment to him as an individual and one of the best in-ring performers in the business right now.
I just hope that they're not trying to prolong the split into WrestleMania because that is a long time away.
Way too fucking long. Yeah,
and we're talking about weeks now where we're sick of it. So yeah, that was just my thoughts on that. What do you got?
Kind of continuing in the same vein of tension. Continued Tiffy tension.
Yeah.
From SmackDown on Friday. It looked like she was again very slowly going to cash in, which they really got to stop with that.
The slow gotta stop. It has to stop.
I know. It's stop with the is she gonna do it? Is she not gonna do it? Is she gonna do it? Is she not gonna do it? Just have it be until she actually does it, just have it not even be a thing now.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where we're at. I feel and that's kind of which is kind of annoying, honestly, which just, I don't know how I fully actually feel about it. I kind of want them to just do away with Money in the Bank.
You do?
To a point. And it's because of this.
Yeah. Because
it's just recycled. It's the same thing every fucking year for the most part, with exception to certain ones.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just it's just a long running, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Oh, it's going to happen against their friend, blah, 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 all the stuff. And it's just the same thing more often than not, I feel like. And
you might be in danger because they've been talking about moving Money in the Bank to 2-night event soon too, possibly not soon, I guess 2027 they're talking about moving
what the fuck?
2-night event. So
why would you do that? That's so unnecessary. Just if you're gonna move events to 2 nights, move the big 4. Those are the only, you don't need more pay-per-views or PLEs to be 2-night events.
They want to keep driving in that dough.
Oh my god. And I like the match, though. That's the thing. I like the match, and I like the idea behind the briefcase. But it's just they're so longly drawn out now.
Yeah.
I want to get back to the day where it's cashed in the same fucking night or the following Monday, or you know what I mean?
Drew did.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true.
I know, but I didn't like that either. So, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying, and I think to your point, I think.
It is how many times can we see this happen?
Yeah. I think what Tiffany needs to do is be I'm not even going to bring it with me. Put that in the storyline so that there's no calm. But then that one time, have it
somewhere. Yeah.
And be
fucking War Games would have been perfect. She had it in the fucking garbage can.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect.
It would have been awesome.
But
I get what you're saying there. I agree with you. It just annoys me. All right. Going back to Raw, Drew and Sammy, very fiery promo to open up the show. Again, we're seeing a lot of what the heel is saying you can kind of sympathize with and agree with. And some of the things Drew was saying, but then Sammy comes out, King of Passion comes out on the mic and puts Drew in his place, sets up a match. I did not know that. I know Sammy hasn't beat Drew, but I didn't know this was his 10th loss to Drew. Like,
Oh, I didn't
Drew is
realize that
10
said
and
that
0.
either.
Drew is 10 and 0
Okay.
versus Sami Zayn, which is crazy. I love the jab from Sami to Drew saying, "You were the chosen one, get over it," blah, blah, blah. Just to call back to when Vince was calling him the,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Vince was calling him the chosen one. But again, where is this going? Is Drew going to be teaming up with the new bloodline? Who is he going to be teaming up? Because it seems like it's going to be a team up versus Sammy, Jimmy, and Jay.
Yeah.
And then who is the one person that called Drew? He alluded to someone calling him while he was in Scotland. Who is that one person, do you think? I want to say Seth, but
It was CM Punk.
maybe Wade
I was
Barrett.
gonna say Wade is probably one of the only ones that makes any sense.
I can't think of anyone that's out.
Heaven? Could it have been KO?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It kind of fits
the He-Man Roman hater club.
Yeah. I'm curious. That part has me curious, but I guess it's not a bad thing because I'm asking where is it going? I'm interested in where it's going. It's just I kind of want to know now. I'm not being patient with this, but I think it's more because this time of the year is always filler. This week was very filler in content, so
Very much so. Yeah.
coming up with 5 things to talk about was pretty tough. In this week, there was good things. I'm curious. I want to know now.
Yeah. I'm kind of just bouncing off of that. I'm confused with the whole situation with Drew because it's Drew, but it's also now involving the new bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
But then in a week and a half, we're supposed to have Roman versus Solo to end that all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, supposedly. But now we've had the new bloodline attack Sammy and Jay on back-to-back episodes.
Yeah.
And Roman's been nowhere.
I don't like that.
So there's
Roman's been nowhere.
Yeah, Roman's been nowhere. Especially since he was gone for fucking 6 months.
Yeah.
It's like, why is he again not on television?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is the worst when it comes to that. How does he just getting so much fucking time off? But he's supposed to be the face of your franchise still. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's annoying. I don't like it.
He's injured and he's back.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm confused with it all.
Obviously, I think he'll be on next Friday probably to I would close out go home show to Monday Night Raw the following week. So.
Yeah, but it's just like there seemed like there was purpose and path into War Games, and now since War Games ended, now it just seems like we're in this weird limbo of like what the fuck's going on when it comes to like War Games should have been more concluding, I feel like, than it was, or it shouldn't have ended the way it ended.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That felt conclusive in the fact that they beat the new bloodline. Should be done.
Yeah.
That was fair and square. It was in one of the biggest stipulations that you could have.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's still just continuing and nothing's changed. So it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhat being poorly done.
Yeah.
So
I'll just allude it to it's the end of the year, giving time off to the stars, and this time is always filler, but they should be doing a little more to drive home these big storylines. Even I mean, all you have to do is bring them in for one of these double tapings. You don't need to put them on both shows. Just put them on one just to drive something home. But it's been just the same faces. All right, what do you got?
My last thing, and again, things that make no sense to me. Why the fuck are we getting Naomi versus Nia Jax for the women's championship again next Friday? Makes no sense. Literally makes no sense. Naomi just weaseled her way into being the women's tag champ. She didn't even pick up the win over Nia Jax in that 6-man tag match on Friday. why is she all of a sudden after 2 or 3 weeks ago had the match and lost it? Why is she all of a sudden now getting put back into this fucking match? It doesn't make any. If anything, have it be Bianca if you're gonna do some random bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Makes no sense for it to be Naomi. They are fucking awful together in the ring. There is no argument against that. They are dog shit together in the ring. It's fucking bad. And that 6-man tag match fucking showed that too. Why are we getting that on the fucking 3-hour? It's a SmackDown is now permanently going to 3 hours.
Yeah, because Raw is no longer on the USA, so now they're extending that. Or next week's the last Saturday morning longer. Watched on stuff from partially Friday and then.
But yeah, when they put that up on the screen, I out loud audibly went, "What the fuck?" Because it makes no sense. It's driving home zero storyline. It's not pushing anything. It's nothing. It's
Maybe this
fucking garbage.
Maybe this is where you get your reveal, where you're right, where Naomi is the one that attacked Jade, and Jade comes out or video plays and distract whatever. Maybe that is why it's happening. But no, it does not make any sense.
If it can lead to Jade taking Naomi off of my screen permanently, then I'm good with it. I'm here for it.
All right.
I'm fucking over it.
All right. My last point. Moving on. My last point is KO versus Cody.
I was hoping you're going to put that because I didn't.
Is set up for a ladder match at the Royal Rumble, which means we got a month away for this feud to continue to build up. KO is so good as a heel, man. He is so good. I love the opening with Nick Aldis and just how serious he was. It just put a big emphasis on what KO is doing is wrong. And then you can still be right. They did say that both titles are going to be held above the ring. So maybe we are. Maybe
are they going to unify? Make a new Winged Eagle?
That would be so cool.
That'd be fucking.
Love the kicking to the neck just because I was questioning what it like. He's not in the neck brace or anything. He's not acting sore, but just to build off of the power drive, KO goes right after the neck. It was just great heel move. I'm super pumped for this match. This definitely feels the right direction from what their Saturday night main event match was. So I'm here for it.
I was interested in it being a ladder match, though. I was kind of like, oh, because neither of these two I mean, Cody's obviously, they've both been in ladder matches of different forms before, but it doesn't seem like that leans into either strong suit.
KO and Sammy've had a lot of cool ladder matches in Ring of Honor and stuff, and it really doesn't call for that. I don't know. Ladder match is hard to fit into a big storyline, I feel like.
Yeah. Which is why I felt like it was just kind of out of place for it to be a ladder match.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but just a ladder match doesn't really feel like it's that big of a stipulation anymore.
Yeah.
But maybe this is leading to something more.
I mean, it definitely, there's no hold barred, obviously, and it gives that definitive chance of someone grabbing the belt away, and I think that's what they're trying to get at, is taking the Winged Eagle away from him. So I'm here for it. I think it's going to be a great match. Cody's in his anger mode, and I like that, and so I'm here for it.
Yeah, read it to there. Continuing to play into that whole thing we talked about before, where it's of kind of refreshing take on a face to have that dark side continue to play out and be shown. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right. Tim, we got our banger of the week this week. Who you got, or what do you got?
I got Sami Zayn in general. He main evented both shows, and they were both bangers of him.
Yep. What the fuck? That was exactly what I wrote too, was Sami Zayn in general.
Yeah.
It's the banger of the week.
He had a great match with Drew, great match with Carmelo, and fiery promos, and he's keeping himself relevant. Great, again, just great matches. So well deserved.
Yeah.
for the end of the week.
I don't have much more to say. I was going to do exactly. You took all the words right out of my mouth. I put Sammy down because for all the same reasons he's been on like every episode of everything. It seems like now for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just again his promos are fucking just great. The matches he's been putting on are phenomenal. So yeah, it's hard to look past him as the individual that deserves our honor this week.
Yep. Which brings me to our belts question of the week. I pose this one in honor of New Year's. We're gonna do basically a year recap and list off some superstars of the year, matches of the year, etc. So let's go back and forth. We'll have you go first. So male superstar of the year, who do you got?
I went Sami Zayn.
Nice.
For the superstar of the year. I went Sammy. I think if you really look at his whole 2024, the feuds he's been in, the titles he's gone for, the storylines he's been involved in, the matches he has put on with so many different people, and all are just been fucking like all the matches with him and Gunther, all the matches with him and Gable, all the matches with him and Breaker. The now storylines that he's getting in with the bloodline, the fucking IC, the kind of flirting with the world heavyweight, like all sorts of stuff. Tag team situations too, even like just all of it. Getting Sami Uso back, like just everything. I feel like it's just been a really big year for him. It was between him and Gunther for me, and I went with Sami.
That's a good call. If you asked me this come February of this year, I'd be like, hell no. Like he was off the face of it. And then his storyline to get on Mania's card really kicked off the rest of it. So that's a solid pick. I really like that one. I went with Drew McIntyre. The guy's been on fire all year long and has been relevant. He's arguably the best heel out there. Just guys cooking on the mic, cooking in the ring, and had me invested all year long with what he had, fully invested when he's on the screen. So he is my male superstar of the year. Bring it over to the female side of things. Your female star of the year.
Oh, Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
She is still the face of the women's entire division in, I would argue, wrestling, not just WWE. Like, she is one of the most well-known faces. She's just, every time she's in the ring, I'm glued to the screen. Every time she's on the mic, I'm glued to the screen. She's been involved in some of the best storylines of the year that we have been hyped about. And yeah, I'm all for Rhea Ripley. I love Rhea.
I was gonna kind of it's a tie for me between Liv and Rhea. You can't have the magical year they've had without each other.
Yeah, that's fair. For sure.
But I give the slight edge to Rhea because I think she can produce a phenomenal year without Liv per se, but this year felt bigger because of Liv and her.
Yeah.
So I gave it a tie, just because Liv had a great year as well. And you don't have that without Rhea. So that's what I got for that. All right. Match of the year or some of your favorites, because I know your memory's not great. What do you got for that?
I went match of the year was the Punk McIntyre Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah. I had two, but the main one was Hell in a Cell, Drew and Punk. This felt like a big time Hell in a Cell match. I really liked the Seth and Cody Rhodes one, just because he had the torn pec and it was brutal. But this one felt like return to form Hell in a Cell. It was brutal. Yeah. You had the definitive conclusion to Drew Punk in that match, and it was everything you wanted. And
it was the ultimate conclusion for not to get ahead of myself here, but the best feud we've seen in WWE in a long time.
Yeah.
So
my runner-up, and I wish I put it as like favorite moment of the year because this would have been it, but the the go ahead, and he did it. Jay versus Breaker, him winning the Intercontinental title. Like, the match was great, but just him winning the IC title felt so awesome.
Yeah.
So I kind of had that in along with the match of the year.
Yeah.
All right. PLE of the year. What do you got?
I'm a Clash at the Castle.
Okay.
On Clash at the Castle was the I Quit match with Cody and AJ.
Mhm.
You had the Priest McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship, which was the great camera angle of Punk coming out of the ref, but then he stops at the 2 count. Just that whole thing. You had the surprise of Fire and Dawn winning.
That's true.
The
tag, the
women's tag titles. And kind of, for you get that home crowd pop, you know, type of thing there. You had Piper Niven challenge Bailey. And there's one more thing that I'm totally spacing on, but worry not. I came prepared. Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. Another one with Sami Zayn, Chad Gable for the IC, where Sami got the win. Another fucking banger of the match. So those are the 5 matches on that card. If I remember correctly, I want to say we both gave it a 3 out of 3 for the bell rating. And yeah, it was just all around. I mean, it was solid. I will let you know when I was thinking of this. I really only thought of the things since we've been doing the podcast.
Gotcha.
So just because that was the stuff that we covered, that's more of what I was sticking with. So I didn't go back to like WrestleMania or anything like that.
So I did consider WrestleMania, but I did not choose it. I kind of lean more into what we did talk about, but
so I think it would be probably too easy every year to just say, oh yeah, WrestleMania was the best PLE because it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, that's the point of WrestleMania.
But I mean, I think mine is SummerSlam, and I felt like SummerSlam was bigger, not like total wise, like to WrestleMania, but I've absolutely enjoyed from start to end. It was a big pay-per-view, or PLE, I mean, and we both gave it a 3 star. So yeah, man, that was my PLE. All right, going into feud of the year.
I already said it. Punk McIntyre.
Yeah,
I think that's hard to argue.
I have Drew versus Punk. I thought you were gonna go live Rhea on that because you did say
I love their feud, but there hasn't been many feuds of late.
Yeah,
in the WWE outside of now KO and Cody.
Yeah,
that have actually felt this personal.
Mm-hmm.
I love Leah and Riv.
Mm-hmm.
Life's of Leah and Riv. Rhea and Liv. I love their feud. I love all of it. They just put on really great matches back and forth. They're really good back and forth on mic. But I think the thing that keeps me from doing it is the real deep down originality and basis of this feud. Just doesn't make that much sense when you think of it because of the lack of kayfabe.
Yeah.
And knowing that Dominic Mysterio is married,
yeah,
really throws a wrench into the whole making it that personal.
Yeah.
Punk and McIntyre, that was nothing but personal feeling. Like you can fucking feel it, you know. Same with Cody and KO now. Like you can feel it.
Yeah.
They've done a Leah and Riv. I did it again. Rhea and Liv. Don't get me wrong. They've done a really good job playing into all of that. Same with Dom, like they all have. But it's still just like, you know that him and Liv aren't actually together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so
that's true.
If you didn't know any of that, if you didn't have that ability to know these things, then, you know, it would be a little different.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be higher up there for me. But there is always that in back of my mind. So that's why I'm a Punk and McIntyre.
I like that. Me too. I agree with you. Drew versus Punk just takes the cake for me. It had basically a year-long build to its culmination at Bad Blood in that Hell in a Cell. So awesome feud there. Storyline of the year. The last part of this question. Storyline of the year. What do you got?
Blood behind.
I put that, but also quickly rounding up now is this Randy Cody KO thing. Just Randy's been staring at the title a lot.
Yep, there's been a lot of seeds.
A lot of seeds going into that, but KO, like, after Bad Blood, just changing how we have to look at wrestling now. We have to wait till after a show and see if anything's happening on social media now, and that's thanks to KO. He's feeding into that. So that kind of rounds up, but definitely Bloodline. It's been our main talking point of every podcast episode. It's kept us invested this long, and we're still not done with it either.
Yeah.
And there's got to be a culmination sometime, and it's probably at this next WrestleMania. So maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
All right, man. What a year in wrestling.
I know. Seriously. That brings us to Blockbusters. All right, Timothy. I have a couple more surprises for you. All right. First and foremost, we now have these beautiful chicky tendies sitting right here in honor of none other than Dominic Mysterio.
Oh yeah.
No guys, nice. I know they're not quite nuggies. They're actual full tendies, but we're gonna roll with it. So first and foremost, I was at a White Elephant party last weekend.
Okay.
And I feel like your eyes are averting to what I'm about to point out here.
Yep.
One of the gifts that I came home with was this 3-pack set of Hot Ones hot sauce. So, continuing with our stupid antics on this show, following suit with the Final Boss Sour Candy Challenge.
I feel like you ruined my mouth. I came out with a tooth injury out of that.
Tooth injury? What time was it? Was it tooth hurty? Anywho, I figured why not continue rocking and rolling with our the Hot Ones hot sauce challenge thing. And I figured, I don't know how many more full topics we have off the top of my head, but I figured you do one. Like we'll both do the same sauce, but it's like for one slide, you read the slide, but you have to do the hot sauce before you read the slide. And then I'll do the same thing, bounce back and forth.
All right.
All right. So for, and this is kind of fucked up. I'm going to be completely honest with you, because we have the classic hot sauce, Hot Ones original, the classic hot sauce. The heat level is a 2 out of 10. Okay. Not too scary.
Yeah.
Not too scary. This is the confusing part, because the next bottle is Hot Ones original buffalo hot sauce. Heat level is also a 2 out of 10.
Okay.
And then you have this little bottle of love. This one's called Hot Ones over 91% pepperettes. I don't know what that means. That sounds like the rage virus.
We're gonna die.
It's called The Last Dab Experience. The heat level, there it is 11 out of 10.
Oh,
So, how are you with hot stuff?
not good.
Me either. So that's why I thought this would be fun. As soon as I pulled it out of the package, I looked at Lindsay and she goes, podcast. And I was like, yeah, we got to do it. So that's that. The second, that's just the first of the 2 surprises. The second one I have for you.
Oh.
It's your third and final Christmas gift, Tim.
Dang. You're so spoiled. Ooh.
Open it. Go faster.
I know it. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
I thought you would appreciate those.
We got some Marvel Adventure drinking glasses. Hell yeah.
They look more like whiskey rock glasses.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, hell yeah.
That is so cool.
And the number one reason why I was like, yep, I'm buying it, is because I believe it's the second one from your right is Spider-Man.
Yep.
That was the primary. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta buy this.
So cool. Hell yeah, man.
Dog.
Dude, I love you.
Dude, I love you too. You caught me off guard with the bottle of the Jermaine Curse signed Maker's Mark last week,
Yeah.
and I was like, I gotta do something for my brother.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, thank you.
Well,
Now let's
Tim, without further ado, you're up first.
A few moments later.
Oh, that actually this one doesn't smell bad.
We are not going to take all three at once at the end.
We might.
We
We might, Tim. Who knows? All right, so this is the first one.
got Buffalo.
Okay, so it's classic first, then and the nice thing is you start on this slide, and then I'll go, so then you get a moment. I did. Lindsay had left me a little container to put ranch in, so we could have a chaser. Do you want that?
No.
No, we're just gonna raw dog it. I love it. I love our style. Raw dogging for days.
All right.
All right, you jump into that while I open this one, and I'll move on to our first Blockbusters talking point for you. It is ready for it. Oh man, you didn't fuck around.
I probably.
You went for it. I love it. Get it. How we doing?
So far, so good.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. It had a little heat to it. It's starting to come in, but
You just nope. You talking? Ignore everything I'm doing over here.
not bad. I agree with the 2 out of 10.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Nosferatu. This movie just came out on Christmas Day. Just had a little more.
Oh, my bad. That's on your fingers. That came out a lot faster than I thought it was going to. Hopefully, you'll have any open wounds on your finger.
Let me just get the.
Ooh, finger looking good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Love it. Keep her going.
Nosferatu. The synopsis is Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is a gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and the terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. This is starring Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult. We've been talking about him a lot. Bill Skarsgård, Aaron Taylor Johnson, another person we've brought up multiple times, and William Dafoe. Again, directed by Robert Eggers, who's also directed The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman. This came out Christmas Day. It looks good. I know this is like a remake, retelling from a movie made 102 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's a long time between movies. It looks really good. It doesn't look like it's gonna be like this total jump scare. It looks like it just looks beautifully shot. It looks like it's gonna be like a slow burn horror movie, kind of like The Witch was. So I don't know. I just thought this was exciting looking. It looks really cool. Has a lot of big stars in it. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited for it.
Same. The trailer for it looks really fucking good. Like you said, it looks like a little bit more of a slow burning type horror movie type thing. I'm excited for it. I mean, everyone that's in that, fuck yeah. Like there's not a single name that was just listed there that I'm like, yeah, pretty much about all of them. Even Lily Rose Depp, who's more kind of newer, up and coming, been in a handful of things. It's Johnny Depp's daughter. So yeah, no, I'm stoked for that.
Yeah, man.
All right, my turn.
Here we go.
Give me this fat bottom already.
Oh yeah.
It's real liquidy.
Oh, you got big towels over there. We should bring those into the frame too.
I'll do the honors. That's not bad. Yeah, I would. I've had a lot of. I've had a really good flavor. Oh, here you go. All right.
I mean, top it off.
Yeah, got to get a little more. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I really like.
I'm really good with that one. All right. The Hunting Party. The synopsis is a high-concept crime procedural about a small team of investigators who are assembled to track down and capture the most dangerous killers our country has ever seen, all of whom have just conveniently, all of whom have just escaped from a top-secret prison that's not supposed to exist. The is a crime drama show. It will be on NBC Peacock. It's coming February 3rd, and it stars Melissa Roxburgh, who is in Manifest.
Yeah.
The trailer for the show, it's funny that you put this on here because I actually saw it. It's either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. We were here, we had something on it. It was just like an ad that popped up. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I thought that was interesting. And then I didn't actually really look more into it because we were doing stuff. And you put that on there and I watched it. I was like, that's the same fucking show. So yeah, it looks fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, they only gave a 30-second user trailer for it, but I like the concept of chasing down serial killers, and
it's like a serial killer blacklist.
Yeah,
almost type. No, I mean not obviously the same thing, obviously, but it's the concept of it. It's kind of in the same vein, at least. Or now you have all these guys that are on the run. They gotta track them down and find them.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how it goes. If it's gonna be just like each episode is chasing down one guy, or if it's multiple episodes chasing down one, which I hope it leans more to, or I'll feel like it could get old really quickly, just doing the same thing with a different character each episode. But
did you ever watch The Blacklist?
Yes, I did, and
The Blacklist was for the most part. And they had
later, and then
that's true.
He's awesome.
They had longer running story arcs. It was for the most part. Each episode was based on them tracking down a new person from the Blacklist. So
yeah, exactly. So
they could make it work.
Yeah,
it could work well. It has been done well before.
Yeah. So I just hope that it does have some other arcs going.
Yes.
To keep the show going. But no, it definitely caught my attention, and been looking for some more shows to watch, and I thought this would be a good one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, Timmy.
Here comes the next one.
We got the Hot Ones 2 out of 10 Buffalo hot sauce now. I'm not looking forward to this one as much. I don't really care for buffalo sauce.
All right. I'm not going as aggressive on this one before.
We'll see.
Also not bad. Definitely has the buffalo flavor.
There you go.
We'll go for one more dab. There we go. Okay, let's get one more bite in.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Handling it fine, it seems.
I'm not crying.
That's good.
It's starting to build up in there though, but no tears are.
This might be the little teaser. I might have to look into getting the full set.
Yeah,
that would be kind of fun.
So we could go one by one.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got the Wolfman. Synopsis: a family at a remote farmhouse is attacked by an unseen animal, but as the night stretches on, the father begins to transform into something unrecognizable. This is starring Julia Garner, Christopher Abbott, Sam Yeager, directed by Lee Wannell, out in theaters on the 17th of January of next year. Movie looks awesome. I like the idea that something did attack him, but the story is more on the dad turning into whatever it was.
Yeah.
The Wolfman.
Yeah.
So that part intrigues me. I like that it's
like
it's not
horror movie version of the Santa Claus.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one Wolfman attacks somebody else and turns them into Wolfman, and this Wolfman gets to go off and retire peacefully.
Yeah. So it looks really good. I'm here for it. It's a Blumhouse Productions movie. Big fan of theirs.
Yeah.
The director, he was Adam in Saw, in the first Saw.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was the main guy in the room with him, and he did Invisible Man with forget her name, but she was in Anne's Maid.
Yeah.
Tale.
Yeah. I'm blanking right now.
But But really like that movie, so I'm excited to see the direction on this. This trailer looked really good.
Trailer looks great. I've seen it a few times on just like ads on TV now, along with watching it, getting prepared for this today. I really like Julia Garner too. She was in Ozarks. That was the first time I had seen her was in Ozarks. She was phenomenal in that show. Amazing. She is in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie as well. She is Shalal Ball, who is the female rendition of the Silver Surfer also. So just big things for her. Looking forward to it. Yeah, the movie looks awesome. So quite the Christmas for horror movie info.
Yeah, no kidding.
All righty, my turn. Here we
Take it
go.
on. Man, I'm nervous about the next one.
Yeah, me too.
7 out of 10. Oh, you went big.
Yeah.
Oh, we lined this up perfectly. Dude, because you're the one that brought this up.
I know. That one hits a little more in the sinuses.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't get it doesn't have a strong buffalo taste to it.
Yeah,
I
it's not
feel
super
like
strong. It's definitely spicier than the first one, but it's still not terrible. I would personally, I would probably say this is like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
If the first one's a 2 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, because that one is still lingering
Mhm.
for me.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get them fast tack.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna talk really slowly so I can postpone this one. So we got the Odyssey, Tim. On episode 26, I want to talk about just the fact that we had more information, casting primarily information coming out about Christopher Nolan's next film. There were theories. Those theories were far, far, far from correct. And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So Universal Studios has unveiled that he will be bringing Homer's The Odyssey to the big screen. It's definitely different than what the previous theory thought it was going to be about aerial helicopter cops. Yeah, this one's definitely hotter than the first one. I'm slightly struggling right now, which scares me for the next one. But yeah, so The Odyssey is an epic poem of 24 books traditionally attributed to the ancient Greek poet Homer. The poem is a story of Odysseus, king of Ithaca, who wanders for 10 years, although the action of the poem covers only the final 6 weeks, trying to get home after the Trojan War. On his return, he's recognized only by his faithful dog and a nurse. With the help of his son, Telemachus, I don't know if I said that right, Odysseus destroys the insistent suitors of his faithful wife Penelope and several of her maids who have fraternized with the suitors and reestablished himself in his kingdom. So, this to me sounds more in line with Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, I'm sure whatever the whole idea of aerial helicopter cops would have probably been fucking dope because Christopher Nolan's Christopher Nolan. But this sounds way more like his type of thing. And again, we don't have it fully listed here, but just some of the names that we know are already in this or are going to be a part of this are Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon. I get all of them confused. Matt Damon, Charlize Theron, Zendaya, and Lupita Nyong'o. So just like 6 people so far that have been cast, among who I'm sure will be plenty more to come.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think this is more in line with what Nolan does. This seems like on epic proportions, and he's going to be using that new IMAX material for
never
this.
before used IMAX technology.
Yeah. So
which is crazy to think of when this is a fucking poem from like, I don't know, it was like 7th or 8th century BC or something, right? Like, but it's gonna be using the most latest IMAX technology.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting concept just in and of itself.
I've been a big fan of Greek mythology, and that's what this tied into. So I'm here for it. I was excited to see that that's officially what he's going to be working on. So
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Well, when I saw this, I was like, fuck yeah. That's way more exciting to me than what the previous theory that we had read was.
yeah, man.
Awesome.
Oh God,
All right, here we go. Here we go.
I love how you have it sealed still.
Oh yeah, I haven't even fully. Well, I shook it. I shook it
yeah.
because it looked scary in the top when I first opened it. Doesn't still look scary. It still looks scary.
All right, I'm not going big on this.
Yeah, do a little.
Yeah, it's not coming out.
You have to bang it from the butt. Old ketchup bottle style.
I think that's on purpose. They don't want you to get a lot.
Probably.
All right, that's a good dab.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
A good start.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm gonna just get mine prepared, just for time's sake.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. That's the response.
Oh,
Holy now. Get dirty.
holy night.
Holy night. Oh, fuck me. God damn it. All right, here.
Oh man, you're gonna want to take some.
Some of that off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Just let me put the butt just to take a little off.
There you go. Oh yeah. Save yourself a nugget of chicken.
Yeah, that one's spicy. Yeah, go good.
Might as well get a second. All right, I'll put that one down.
Okay.
You know what I'm thinking.
No, we're not gonna do all three, guys.
We are, Tim. It's what we do.
Okay.
We established it already with sour.
Should never have said anything.
All right, Tim. What do we got next?
We got more follow up. We got our first trailer to Happy Gilmore 2. This is not going to help.
It's not at all.
Nope.
Probably made it worse. You have bourbon and champagne to just help the burn, bro.
But it was a very quick trailer, but
Yeah.
impactful. It seems like there's a lot of emotion, but a lot of happiness too. You get quick glimpses at Julie Bowen. You get Happy doing his signature galloping on his golf club. And you get the closing shot of Shooter McGavin. You see a quick glimpse of Travis Kelce's cameo in it. And yeah, I'm just super excited for this movie. I'm so excited that I'm crying about it right now.
One thing about this that I thought was interesting is where him and Shooter McGavin seemed to have their little face off. Was it in a cemetery?
It
It
was.
was in a cemetery. So I'm curious to see if that maybe this is how they're paying tribute
Yeah.
to I forget the actor's name. We have to fact check that, but the caddy who did the, well, I guess it wasn't a caddy, it was more of a lackey that did the, you're not gonna make this putt, you jackass.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how they pay homage.
Or Mr. Weathers. Too.
Yeah. Chubbs. True.
Mr. Weathers. Could be both. Maybe they're right next to each other.
Could be Bob Barker.
Oh, yeah.
All the above.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, I'm just, I am excited for it.
Me too.
It
was awesome. When you sent me that text, I was like, oh, fuck yeah.
Christmas, right? Or was
It
it?
was either Christmas Eve or Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a nice little gift from
yeah.
Adam Sandler.
It looks.
No official release date still,
no.
but they say it's coming soon. So,
Yeah.
all right, dude, your turn.
Oh, boy, Alberto. Here we go.
Have fun with that.
Fuck. Right away.
At first, it was like, okay, yeah. And then it just quickly envelopes your whole mouth. Talking about the questions on here. least you don't have to bring a lot of thought right away.
Fuck. Oh, that's brutal. God damn it. Can't leave
He's
you
going
hanging.
for a second bite.
No, I can't leave you hanging.
Yeah, I wish there was a better lead up to
I
that.
should have left you hanging. Fuck me.
It's still burning.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Oh my lord. All right. So December binge recap.
I guess you get to ask the question so I can talk while you're burning.
We are going movies you've watched, shows you've finished, shows you've started or are about to start, and then give your feedback on such things.
All right. Having fun over there? You're crying too. Crying with me. So emotional.
No.
This final episode of the year.
Yeah.
All right.
It was perfect.
So movies that I've watched. So I watched Top Gun in preparation to watch Top Gun Maverick, that episode. I watched Nutcrackers. We brought that up on this this on this podcast. That had I'm still burning.
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller and Linda Cardellini.
Yeah.
The movie I would not recommend if you have if you have and enjoyed it. I'm sorry, but I was not a big fan.
I didn't like it either. I watched it too. I didn't care for it.
It was
Okay, we're not doing all three. You want to just eat the last chicken strip?
well,
A few moments later.
Holy shit. I've done like wing challenges at places too. That's fucking way worse.
yeah, and we just did a little.
Huh. Oh my lord. My whole little roof of my mouth on fire.
All right.
Anyways, what else?
We're back. Yeah, I was not a fan of that. They showed all the good stuff in the trailer, and all he had left was a pretty slow burn movie there. I watched Red One. We talked about that one a long time ago with The Rock.
And you did watch it?
Yeah,
I haven't watched that one.
I thought that one was really well done. I know it didn't last long in theaters, but they did put it out on Prime to watch. So I caught it on there, and I thought it was really good. The Rock's character, though, I mean, he's his typical self, kind of one-dimensional, but it kind of fit for this movie. I would put this on my Christmas rewatch. I thought it was a lot of fun. I watched Carry On with Jason Bateman and Taron Egerton, yeah. That movie I thought was great. I was a big fan of that one. Of the online community was pretty brutal. That one, the Rotten Tomato score was like a 50%. And I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Hooked me right away.
Yeah.
I watched I'll Be Home for Christmas. That's my favorite Christmas movie. We talked about that on the previous
JTT, right?
Yep. I watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Bad Moms Christmas, Office Christmas Party.
Love that fucking.
I love
That's one of our regular too.
And then I went to the theaters yesterday with Haley, and we checked out Sonic 3, which was really good. A big fan of the first two movies. Just watching Jim Carrey in movies again is just
It's great.
it's great. And lately, that seems to be the only thing he's been doing is Sonic franchise. I haven't caught him in anything else, but it's just good to see his goofy self on that. So thoroughly enjoyed that. Going down to shows, I watched seasons 1 and 2 of Based on a True Story. Caught up because season 2 came out earlier this year, so caught up on that. Great first and second season on that. Modern Family, this is one I've been watching. I'm up to season 3 now. I'm in the middle of season 3. How I Met Your Mother, still my fall asleep show. I'm in season 5 still. Taking a long time to get through that one because the last time we talked about it, we were in season 5. Shrinking seasons 1 and 2 as it's an Apple Plus show with Jason Segel. Dude, this show
is in that too, right?
yeah, this show is so good.
I need to start watching it.
Highly recommend that. Second season just ended right before Christmas. The last one was Christmas Eve. Really excited about season 3. I know it's a long ways out, but love that show. Watched No Good Deed. We talked about that one on the podcast. It had Ray Romano and
Lisa Kudrow.
Lisa Kudrow, and it started off a little slow. It's not what I was expecting, but ended up being a pretty great show. I watched the whole season. And then lastly, I started Silo, which is an Apple Plus show. I don't know when the first season came out, but I can't name the actors in it, but it did have Rashida Jones in the first episode. It's got me hooked. I'm only 3 seasons in. It is an hour-long episode or 40-plus minute one, but it has me like full-on invested. It's basically post after something's happened, and now civilization is in a silo, and you can't say that you want to go out, or you get put out of the silo when it looks like everyone dies the second they go out of it. And so it's about living in the silo and a lot of little mysteries going on. So thoroughly enjoying that one. Again, early on, but there's a second season currently still airing, and really invested in this one. So excited about that.
Awesome.
What about you? Can you talk?
Barely. I'm struggling right now. That sucks. It still sucks. I take back what I said. We don't need to do the full line. So yeah, movies. Did our whole Christmas spiel. We do. I don't know if I've explained it on here before or not, but we do like our advent calendar thing.
Okay.
I started it last year because we were home on leave with Lainey because we had her at the end of October, and so essentially what it was I made 25 envelopes, and in each envelope I did a Christmas movie and an activity. And we did that last year and quickly realized while doing it that we were like, this is a lot. Like we're setting ourselves up to be like, fuck, now we're stressing out to try to get these things done. So this year we were like, obviously we had way more time on our hands last year which might seem weird because she was a newborn and we were figuring everything out, but she slept so much.
Yeah.
And just like on us in the living room. So it was like to watch it, like that's what we did. We just sat around for the most part. We baked, we watched shows, stuff like that. This year, shit's a little different. She's 14 months old yesterday, and she's running around. She's so interested in everything. She's into everything. It makes it a little bit harder to do certain things. But this is something that I started last year because I started it for Lainey because I want her to have something that each year as she gets older and can she knows what it is and knows what to expect, that she can get excited for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's just like a Christmas tradition that we'll do every year because I didn't really have that type of thing growing up.
Yeah.
I don't want to establish that. So what we did this year was we decided instead of doing like both things each day, we took the top 12 from what we did last year, like the ones that we were like, yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And then kind of dwindled out the other ones to having 12 activities, 12 movies, put one in each box for 24 days. And then we just left Christmas. It's Christmas.
Yeah.
So we did from December 1st to the 24th. So we did 12 movies, and I'm not going to try to name off every single one of them that we did, but Elf, Christmas Vacation, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Home Alone, Office Christmas Party, The Santa Claus, a Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, the animated one. That's my favorite, among others, obviously. But we did our whole Christmas movie spiel that we do every year. We also watch a handful of other Christmas movies just on our own in our free time when we were able to. One that we watched was Our Little Secret, I believe is what it's called. It's a Lindsay Lohan movie.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix. Yeah. Lindsay wanted to watch it, and I was like, let's watch it, sure. And we watched it. It was actually pretty good. Like, there are definitely cheesy parts. There's parts where Lindsay Lohan crying just isn't that great. Where it's just like, less of that. But the movie in and of itself was pretty solid. I enjoyed it. It was I thought it was an interesting concept. It's essentially like her and this guy are like dating at some point. They break up like on Christmas Day or something. And then years later, they both end up with these new partners, but these new partners, they're going to their partners' families for Christmas. Well, the partners end up being siblings.
Oh,
Right. So it's like he is now dating the sister of her boyfriend. So they end up being back in each other's lives, but they try to play it off that like they don't know each other and they're meeting for the first time, so that they can just like get over this one weekend and then move on, type of thing. It was it was a pretty good movie. I actually really enjoyed it.
nice.
We also watched Carry On.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We thought the movie was fucking awesome. Like Lindsay was like, that was such a good movie.
It was so good.
It was really good. I really liked it. It had it had shades of a few different types of, or a few different movies. But it was also its full own thing at the same time. Seeing Jason Bateman in that bad guy role,
he did so good.
Super. I really enjoyed that. It was really good. But it was still just Jason Bateman at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was just him, which was perfect because he looks like your just average everyday guy, he's the perfect person to have in that role in an airport where he's having to act like your average everyday guy, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we really like that movie. Other movies we've watched.
Did you catch Juror number 2? Like you said?
Oh, yep. Watched Juror number 2. That was good. Really enjoyed that movie. We'll talk about it a little more once you've watched it.
Okay.
I think.
Nice.
Because I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just leave it at that.
Got it.
Fuck, what else? Oh, let's move on to shows, I guess. Shows we watched. Finished Yellowstone season 5. I'm almost done with The Day of the Jackal. I have like the rest. I have like probably 15 minutes left in episode 9, and I think there's only 10 episodes. So
Okay.
I'm almost done with that. That's been really good so far.
Nice.
I've been really happy with that one. I didn't write these down, and I don't know why. Now I feel stupid.
I wrote all on down.
I
knew
know.
I'd forget.
I know, and I should have. I don't know why I didn't. Have I finished any other shows this month though? I don't know that I have. Oh yeah, I guess technically was that last month, or is that this month that I finished? Found, and we've watched and finished. Based on a true story.
Nice.
So Found season 2, I think that might have been November, but it might have been after we did the binge recap in November because we did it a week early because we went to Survivor Series.
Yeah.
So it might have been since we did the recap. So a few things there, and things I'm getting ready to start or have started, I guess, too, would be No Good Deed is one that I want to start. I've been about to start it a couple different times, but I've just had to do other stuff. Fuck me. Why am I spacing on the name of this? I can't even think of what fucking platform it's on either. Well, must not be that important, I guess.
You could talk about it on there.
Exactly, because I'll hopefully watched it by
And
then.
wrote it down.
Yes, I'll write these down for now. I thought I was going to be good because I'm usually good at remembering things I'm watching, but I think the hot sauce fucked me.
I think so.
I'm still thinking about it. It's definitely leveled out now.
Top of my mouth is like numbish.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's probably your body going into defense, thinking you're dying from the inside out. But yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah, man.
That's our December
binge
binge recap. What do we got next?
Blockbusters question of the week.
All right, man. Again, in the spirit of wrapping up the year here, Happy New Year's. Give me your top 3 movies of the year. We could go back and forth. So let's go lowest to your highest. And then do the same with your show. So give me a movie in your top 3 of this year.
All right. I went to Carry On.
All right.
Yeah. I put Carry On. It might be light bias just towards like recency bias. Like I just watched it 2 days ago or 3 days ago or whatever.
Yeah.
But still, I just like, it was so good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. That for sure was a good one.
And it's a fucking Christmas movie too.
Yes, it is.
It is 100%.
Yes, it is. I went with Bad Boys Ride or Die. We went to the movie theaters and saw that one, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Fantastic movie.
Based on that was this year. Wow,
That was early on in the
that was
podcast.
yeah, it was very early on in the podcast.
Yeah, man.
I think that was before we went weekly, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was one of the
Yeah.
weekly episodes. Yeah.
All right, second one for me. I went Alien Romulus. We also went and saw that in theaters.
Yeah.
It was fucking phenomenal. It was such a good movie. Just a lot of kind of paying homage to the original. It was shot very similarly to the original. It was just done really well. I know we both really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that one was. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I went with Trap. Trap.
Oh yeah,
That was a really good one. I think that was like a return to form M. Night Shyamalan.
yeah.
Shyamalan a Ding Dong movie, and I loved that movie. I think highly of that one. So
All right.
had that.
And staying in that same vein, I went Long Legs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went Long Legs for number one.
I thought you were going with what I'm going with, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
For the whole experience,
I
the
know,
movie
I
was
know.
great.
but obviously, yes, the movie was fucking phenomenal. But for me, when I'm going for like my best movies of the year, Long Legs tops that for me.
Yeah.
It was such a good movie. It was a unique, original idea.
Yeah.
It was very creepy. Had me on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Yeah.
I went Long Legs.
Nice.
I know, it's surprising. I didn't put Deadpool Wolverine.
I thought you were.
I kind of felt, because I thought about it, obviously, but I kind of felt like that was a little more, I don't know. It was almost like too obvious for me.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do that. That's too obvious for me. So I went another, all very serious movies for me.
Yeah. I like them though. All those were great movies.
Yeah.
So, all right. What about shows?
So starting with number 3, I went Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal. It was
I still want to check that out.
Apple TV
Yeah.
show. He's essentially charged with his mistress, I guess. Kind of. That doesn't sound like a good term, but he's having an affair with somebody who's also his coworker and somebody who works underneath him. Literally and figuratively. And she ends up getting murdered and he gets charged for it. And the whole show's based on that. So
Yeah.
it was really good. We really enjoyed that one.
Nice. Agatha All Along. I thought that show was well done and had me intrigued from start to finish and wanted to keep in the Marvel world there.
Yeah. Agatha All Along almost made my list. It didn't. And it was because of this 2 weeks ago. But Yellowstone season 5B. It was the series finale of the main line Yellowstone franchise. It was so fucking well done, especially considering Kevin Costner didn't return for the second half of the season. It was so good. It was so good. They wrapped it up as it was. I think for me personally, it's probably the best series wrap up that I've seen.
Yeah.
It was done so well.
Yeah.
So that made my list here.
Nice. I'm going with The Penguin.
Okay.
The Penguin was
Fucking phenomenal.
so good.
Yeah.
Really, really well done. I love, hopefully, the continuation of Matt Reeves' Batman world. It's just so good. Really, really, really enjoyed it.
Read rumors that James Gunn wants Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman
in the DC
to be the DCU Batman.
Oh,
I would love it. I don't know how it would all work, but it would be fucking cool if they could just blend those two and make it all one thing. And then there would be no confusion.
that would be awesome. So, okay.
And my number one show of 2024, Bad Monkey.
Wow. Okay.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn.
I went with it. I fucking really loved that show. I was on fucking pins and needles the whole time watching it and waiting for the next episode to drop every week.
Yeah.
It's been like the main show that I have been like every week. I'm just like, fucking can't wait till the next episode comes out. And I love Vince Vaughn, man.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn is one of my favorite actors of all time. He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal in that show. I think the writing of the show was really good. Just all around, I really enjoyed that show. So that's what I went with.
Nice. All right. My number one show of 2024 is Shrinking. I brought it up earlier.
Yeah.
The show is funny. It's got feel good emotions. It can make you cry, make you laugh, make you angry. It has everything. It's a show that me and Haley actually watch together. It takes a lot to get her to watch the TV with me, and she really enjoyed it as well. Jason Segel did it to me again. You know, we talked about it on a previous episode, one of the saddest episodes we've watched, and How I Met Your Mother with him breaking down about his father. Well, he did it again to me in the second season here, and so highly recommend it if you haven't watched it.
I have it. I'm gonna.
So good, start to finish.
Did you ever watch Bad Monkey?
I'm still halfway through it,
Okay.
so I still gotta finish that one. But I'm excited for that one too. So,
All right. Well, dude, episode fucking 30, final episode of 2024.
hell yeah, man!
Our last little, we have like the same amount too, which that doesn't happen very often.
Happy New Year,
Happy New
brother.
Year, brother.
And Happy New Year to y'all.
Let's fucking